Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high-quality unbleached bromate-free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited, 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
Good afternoon, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to C Results on IBN TV as well as the IBN TV Facebook page and the C Results Facebook page. I am Sir Ijaz and I will be going through mathematics with you today as we do on a Monday from 5 p.m. and at 6 p.m. we'll be joined by Miss Nyla, who will be taking us through some English language arts. All right. As is our custom on a Monday, we go through basically the class's performance on the previous week's quizzes and assignments that were posted to edmodo.com. And my have the page, the Edmodo subscription, expanded or exploded over the last week or so since school was temporarily closed off in light of the COVID situation. So currently, we are up to 1,008 students, and before this announcement was made, we were probably at 600 and something. So that's quite a lot of students logging on and participating, and it continues to grow. Many of them actually joined, and they took a little while to understand the way that the whole system is set up. We basically have these programs during the week, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. And then on the weekend, usually Saturday, but sometimes Sunday as well, quizzes are posted for ELA and mathematics. And then we also give a creative writing assignment. So as the weeks go by, more and more students will get the hang of it, and they'll be participating more in the quizzes and the writing assignments. And of course, our students who do well, we take some time every week to mention, give them a little shout out on the program as an incentive for them to continue working. But as we like to remind you, it's not just about that. Although it is something nice, we are actually just wanting you as a student, and the parents who are there for encouragement to just keep working and keep trying. Ultimately, your success will be, you looking back and thinking that you gave your all from all avenues, in school and whatever extra lessons you might be taking, and also here on C Results. We are here for those students who don't have access to traditional lessons, whether it be because of financial reasons or not having the time because of whatever situation they might have at home. But now, a lot of the nation is locked on because everyone basically now, their access to, the traditional school day has been limited. All right. So we had 160 students who submitted the English language arts quiz, which was based on poetry. and which Ms. Nyla had covered, extensively over the previous weeks, and we are into comprehension now. The quiz that was posted for ELA on this weekend was a comprehension quiz. So again, you have all week up until 11:59 on Friday night to submit these quizzes. And we have been giving you now complete creative writing exercises. Before it was basically just paragraphs at a time. But you all are at home as well as us as teachers, so we have a little more time to go through your work. So we took some complete creative writing pieces from you last week, which was expository writing. The first time we actually took report style writing from you, and this week we have a narrative writing exercise, I believe, but the details are there on the Edmodo page, so you can visit that. And if you've not yet subscribed, of course, we do share the access code with you intermittently during the program. And there it is right now. You visit edmodo.com or you download the Edmodo app for whatever type of device you have. It's available for Apple, Android, and Windows. And there you'll be notified when new quizzes are posted, all right? So the average score for the poetry exercise was 70%. And of course, that is the average of all the students that submitted. Some students would have way surpassed that. Some students would have done, a bit below that. And as you just saw there on your screen, if you don't, if you're a new member, if you recently joined us, all of our previous episodes are on our YouTube channel, See Results. And we will be, once things stabilize in terms of the new subscription, we will be opening back all of our previous quizzes, not the creative writing assignments, but the quizzes in English language arts and maths. We have a nice catalog of quizzes there stacked up over the past several months since we've been on air. We'll make it available for our new subscribers and even the ones who did it before to redo it. So that's additional work that you can be spending your time with productively at home. And if you aren't familiar with any topic that we previously covered, you find it there on the YouTube channel or on our Facebook page under the videos tab. And in the mathematics, we had 200 submissions, and that was basically in the measurement strand and the questions from section 2, specifically questions dealing with time, mass, and as well as the geometry strand, again from the second section of the paper, and we had a 63% class average. Now your child may have gotten 100%, they may have gotten less or more, but not more than 100, but more than the average or even less. And so it's up to you. Basically, you just click view results after you finished the quiz, and the results are there for you instantaneously, all right? Only the creative writing, once you submit it, we wait till after the deadline to mark it over the weekend. So whether you submit the creative writing at the start of the week or the end of the week, you won't get that mark until sometime over the weekend. So we did, as I said, post 3 new assignments, so 2 quizzes and an assignment that's due on this Friday, so make sure and get to doing that. Parents encourage the kids to do it. It's a nice way for them to spend time and to remain sharp for the SCA for whenever it does come around. All right, so we have 3 students this week who were able to get 100% in both the English language arts as well as the mathematics. Alian Balfour, who has been with us for a long time, as well as Shane Ramjet, another long-time subscriber. And this is a new person here, Dominique Brown. So welcome to our class, and congratulations on the excellent work that you did. We only had 3 students who were able to get total in both the ELA and the mathematics. Of course, in both the ELA and the math, we are progressing in our papers, all right, in our sample questions and so on. We have moved on from the easy stuff now, but all of that is there and it's available, as we said, on our YouTube channel. And on our honorable mentions, these are students who would have missed out by a mark in either the English or the mathematics, so they are very near to having total in both. So we have Jaheem Douglas, Khalif Dowden, Dakarai Forjani, Faye Rambaran, Carissa Sukan, Josiah Thomas, Nyla Thomas, and Amaya Williams. And several of these names are very new to us here on See Results. So again, welcome. And for our long-standing members, of course, thank you for sticking with us and for participating week in, week out, okay? And in the creative writing, we also have Dakari again submitting a very good, excellent report, all right? And as well as Dominique Brown, Talia Dassain, and Alyssa Sukan. Well done to you all. And of course, some of you, your writing will be featured tomorrow when we do creative writing, and perhaps even on Thursday. And there are many more submissions that were quite good as well. So those may also be featured. So make sure and look out for that on the program. So that was it. That's it for our weekly wrap-up there. And we are back into our work now. So I just wanted to remind you of something where we left off on our last episode on Thursday. We are in the number strand, specifically in the second section of the paper. And the number strand is the most tested or the most assessed for the SEA mathematics exam. It has the most topics and therefore the most questions, all right? 22 out of 45 questions. And that split 10 and 10 and 2. And we are here currently in the second section where questions can go for 2 or 3 marks, all right? Be reminded that section 1 questions are worth 1 mark each. And the third section, the questions are worth 4 marks each. So, where were we? We had learned how to multiply a whole number by a proper fraction. So that's a common fraction, or proper fraction as it's called, with the numerator being smaller than the denominator, right? We went into that in some more detail on Thursday. And then we started to look at multiplying whole numbers by mixed numbers, all right? So a mixed number consists of a whole number as well as a fractional component, or a proper or common fraction, right? You won't have a whole number and then an improper fraction here. It will be a whole number and a proper fraction. And of course, the mixed number can be converted to an improper fraction, and an improper fraction converted to a mixed number. And I left the episode numbers there for you in our last episode, where you can find the videos where we dealt with proper fractions, specifically comparing them, reducing them, finding equivalent fractions, and so on. And we also, in the past, we did episodes on mixed numbers and converting to and from between mixed and improper. So all of that is there for you on our YouTube channel, in addition to to what we learned last week, which is about multiplication, right? We learned about specifically multiplying whole numbers by proper fractions and whole numbers by improper fractions or mixed numbers. And just again, before we tackle the question that we just looked at there, we haven't answered it yet. So of course, in a few minutes, you all will be calling me. So I'm going to ask that the numbers be made available to you now. And pretty much from that point forward in the program today, it's all calls, it's all you helping me as we continue to work through the number section, or the number strand, section 2 type questions. So we write the whole number as we saw last week, Thursday, with the denominator of 1. And we convert that mixed number to an improper fraction. Then we basically multiply numerators and multiply the denominators. We put them one on top of the other, and then we simplify. And we saw that sometimes we can cross multiply, or we can cancel diagonally or vertically, but never horizontally, right? So that's just a quick recap. And we went through these 3 examples, and I'll just redo one just to make sure, for those of you tuning in for the first time today, do understand what we are doing. So let's take the second one, for example, part B. We have 1.5 multiplied by 5. So we have to convert this 1.5 to an improper fraction. We multiply the whole number by the denominator. So that's 1 multiplied by 2 is 2. We add the numerator to that, and we'll get 3 over 2. We multiply by 5. We have to put that over 1 now, remember. There's nothing to cancel here. You'll be looking for common factors between 2 and 5, or between 2 and 3, okay? There are no common factors besides the number 1, which won't do anything to reduce it. So we multiply 3 by 5, which gives 15, and 2 by 1, which gives us 2. And now we can state this as a mixed number. 2 can go into 15 7 times, which will give us 14. Therefore, we'll have a remainder of 1, and that gives us 7.5. All right, so that's how we do that multiplication. Again, we convert to an improper fraction. We multiply by the whole number after putting it over 1. We multiply numerators and denominators, put them one over the other, and then we can convert back into a mixed number at the end. You may not always be called to do so, but that is pretty standard. So now I'm going to take a caller to help me with this question, right? So there's some things, some keywords here that you need to know in order to arrive at the right answer. So Julia attends music classes 3 times per week. Each class lasts 1 3/4 hours. How many hours of classes does she attend in a fortnight? Good afternoon. Welcome to See Results. Hi, good afternoon, caller.
Hello?
Hi, good day. Who am I speaking with?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results on
Hello?
IBM TV. All right, so maybe we need to try another caller. Okay, guys out there watching at home, remember, you have to mute the television when you're speaking to us on the line, all right? And then listen to us on the phone. And don't worry if you don't hear yourself on TV, because you're on the phone with us. You can always rewatch the video on YouTube or on Facebook later, right? So you will have an opportunity to do that. So just ensure you mute the call. Mute the television. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon.
Who am I speaking with?
Javan.
Hey, welcome, Javan. So, Javan, how are you going to approach this question?
So, firstly, I would say 3 multiplied by 3 and, 3 multiplied by 1 3/4. To give me 5 1/4.
Well, okay, we need to slow down a little bit there. How you arrived at that? What are the steps to multiply 3 by 1 3/4?
Huh?
What are the steps to multiply 3 by 1 3/4?
So I would change 1 3/4 are improper fraction. Which is 7 over 4.
Right.
And I would multiply that by 3.
Yeah.
So then I would say, since nothing can cancel, I would say 7 multiplied by 3 to give me 21.
Yes. Sir?
No, sir. Since they said how many hours of class does she attend in a fortnight is 2 weeks, and they said that's how she attends music classes 3 times per week. So I would say 5 1/4 multiplied by 2.
Yes.
To give me 10.5 hours.
Okay, 5 1/4 multiplied by 2.
Yes, sir.
So again, we can just switch back to this improper fraction form we had here, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so help me with that. 21 over 4 multiplied by 2.
So I would say I would cancel out the 2 and the 4 and the 2.
All right.
And when I cancel that out, it would be 21 over 2.
Yes.
And 2 into 21 is 10, and you have a remainder, which is 1/2.
All right. Excellent work, Javan. So that's correct. That is our answer.
Yes, sir.
Great. So as Javan just demonstrated there for us, it's very important that we read the questions carefully, all right? Julia attends music classes 3 times for the week, and each class lasts 1 3/4 hours long. So we have to find for 1 week first, and that gave us 21 over 4. All right, and we multiply that by 2 to make up for the fortnight, which, as we were told just now, or reminded actually, that a fortnight is 2 hours, right? And not just a video game. So that gives us our correct response of 10.5. Well done, Javan. All right, so now we're going to look at some basic arithmetic type questions that you're going to get in the section 2. I say basic, but of course it's section 2, so it's going to be a bit trickier. So you need to, take your time, read the questions out, decipher anything that is implied there that might not be so straightforward. It won't always be like that, but you still need to check for it. And then you proceed with your working, right? So a small box can hold 4 cans, and a large box can hold 12 similar cans. How many more cans will 15 large boxes hold than the same number of small boxes? I have a caller on the line. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results.
Hello?
Hi, good day.
Good day.
Hi, caller.
Hi.
Can you see the question on the screen?
Yes.
All right, so what's your name?
Marie.
Okay, welcome to the program. So what are your thoughts for this question?
So, I think that so you have to multiply Can you hold on one moment, please? I need to read over the question.
Right, okay. And viewers at home, I hope you all are trying to work it out as well to make sure you have the same answer as our caller, or as we'll get at the end of the caller. If you're unsure, caller, you can just tell me what you think so far, and we'll help you out.
I think you have to multiply 12 by 5.
By 5? How come
5?
5?
By 15.
Uh-huh.
And then you will get... Hold on, I need to look at that.
All right, but before you work it out, I want you to explain to me what you are doing. You're multiplying 12 by 15 to find what?
To find how many cans, how many cans can be held into 15 boxes.
All right. 15 what kind of boxes?
15 large boxes.
All right, great.
So when you multiply 12 by 15, you get 180.
Okay. So that's in the large boxes, right? We have 180 cans.
Yes.
And what do we
need to find? And then you will divide 180 by 4.
Okay. All right. So we have 2 types of boxes here, right? We have small boxes, and we have large boxes. Now, the small box holds how many cans? The small box holds 4 cans, okay?
4 cans.
Great. And the large box holds how many cans?
12 cans.
12 cans. And we want to know how many more cans 15 large boxes will hold than the same number of small boxes, all right? So what you've done here by multiplying this is finding out how many cans there are in 15 large boxes, because there are 12 cans in a single box, right? Now, we want to find out the difference between the large boxes and the small boxes. So how many small boxes would we be dealing with here now?
You will divide 180 by 4.
Okay, no. We found how many cans we have in the large boxes, right? Can you see here, or are you seeing how many small boxes we have as well? we are looking for the same number of small boxes, right? So how many boxes
Yes.
is that?
Yes.
15, right? We have
15.
15 small boxes as well. And how many cans is there in a small box?
4.
4, excellent. So if we multiply 15 by 4, what will we get?
60.
60, right? So we have in the 15 small boxes, we have 60 cans, because each of those boxes can only hold 4, right? And in the 15 large boxes, we have 180 cans, because each of those boxes can hold 12. So how many more cans does the 15 large boxes have than the small boxes?
180 minus 60.
Excellent. And what would that give us?
120.
Great. So how many more boxes can the large ones
120 more
hold?
boxes.
Excellent. 120 more cans than the small boxes, right?
Yes.
All right. And don't feel anyhow about that, right? We are all here learning. So excellent. And thanks for sticking with us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So that's how we do it on C Results, guys. This is a place where we welcome errors being made, right? We rather the errors to be made in our virtual class here than you make it on the exam day. So again, these are section 2 type questions, so it's going to be more involved, all right? You're going to have to use your interpretive, or yes, I believe that's the correct word, your skills of interpretation to understand how to work out the questions. Okay, so we have a scenario here where a small box holds 4 cans, the large one holds 12. We want to know how many more cans will 15 large boxes hold than the same number of small boxes. Very important. So we have 15 boxes in both cases, right? Because it's the same number of boxes. But what's the difference? The number of boxes it can hold, and it's the similar cans, right? So it's the same cans, just one being shipped or sold, I guess, in a big box and one in a smaller box. Of course, we can all relate to that in real life, right? And we want to know the difference. So you have to multiply 15 by 12 to get the number of cans in the 15 large boxes, and we multiply 15 by 4 to get the number of cans in the small boxes, and then to know how many more the large boxes hold, it's just a matter then of subtracting, and we got 120 cans. All right, so you see how easy it is to be, to go down the wrong approach if you don't fully understand the question, right? So take your time, break it up, look for the keywords. Same number of boxes here was critical, right? And understanding that the both of them are going to be multiplied by 15. And the difference is just the number of cans that each box can hold. Of course, there's one more approach that you could have used for this question. All right, you could say that because we have the same number of boxes, 15 boxes, what is the difference that one box has in terms of each other, right? So the large box, the number of cans, subtract the small, will tell us the difference for one box. So we say 12 subtract 4, which gives us 8 cans. There's a difference of 8 cans between the large and the small box. And how many boxes are we finding for? 15. So you just multiply 15 by 8, all right? And you are going to get 120 cans as your answer. So that's a quicker approach, but both approaches are valid, all right? So thank you, caller, for your assistance, and hopefully everyone gets it, right? So here we have another question. A school student population is made up of 234 boys and half as many girls. What is the size of the school student population? All right, so if you have an idea, I see we have a caller already. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to C Results on IBN TV.
Hello?
Hi, good day, caller.
Hi.
And who am I speaking with?
This is Aidan.
Hey, welcome, Aidan. So, Aidan, what are your thoughts for this question? Take a moment and read it there.
Okay. You need to divide 234 by 2.
Divide 234 by 2. All right, and what would you be doing there when you divide that?
You'll find how many girls.
Excellent. And what will the answer for that be? You can go ahead and work it out.
117.
117?
Yes. And then you have to, well, the 117 will be how many girls it has.
Right.
So that you need to add that to the 234.
Okay. And what will that give you?
351.
So you have 234 added to
117.
All right, great. That is absolutely correct. So the student population is 351 students. Good?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Aidan.
You're welcome.
All right. So this one was a bit easier than the last one. So as we can see, we have 234 boys. We have half the number of, or half as many girls. So that's why we divided the 234 by 2, and we simply have to add that now to the number of boys, and we're going to get the total student population of the school. All right, so we like to mention alternative approaches since we were just on the topic of fractions. All right, because we could have also, because we have the number of boys and half as many girls, and we want to find the size of the school student population, we could have also multiplied 234 by 1.5. All right, and we just learned about multiplying whole numbers by mixed numbers. Right, so we convert the mixed number into an improper fraction, and we'll get 3 on 2 multiplied by 234 over 1, and then we can cancel. All right, and we got 117 multiplied by 3, and we'll end up with the same 351 students. All right, so both are valid approaches. You could also multiply by 1.5, multiply by 15 instead, and move the point back to the left, but I think 2 approaches are sufficient. All right, especially since we just taught this one about multiplying whole numbers by mixed numbers. So both are 2 ways that we could have done this question and gotten or arrived at the same answer, both equally valid. All right, so okay, we are about at the halfway point right now. I'm going to take a break for 2 minutes, and we will be back with more mathematics, so don't go anywhere. Right, we'll see you soon.
Sheikleisha Limited, the Caribbean's largest manufacturers of plain and printed paper bags, leaders in plastic bags, vermicelli, split peas powder, and greaseproof paper, ideal for doubles, french fries, and sandwiches. Supplying stores nationwide. For quality products, trust Sheikleisha Limited, 665-3336.
For the everyday lowest prices on all grocery items, trust Low Cost Supermarket for the widest variety of quality products at low prices. Freshly picked fruits and vegetables, healthy products for your well-being, high-quality meat cuts, and a warm and friendly service. Low Cost Supermarket, Sun and Main Road, Cunupia.
Good afternoon, assalamu alaikum, and welcome back to C Results on IBN TV. So far, we've wrapped up multiplying fractions by whole numbers, be it proper fractions or improper fractions. And of course, this all falls under the strand of number, and we are dealing with section 2 type questions. And we've brought now some arithmetic type questions that you're going to get in the section 2, questions that are very similar to these. We're doing some practice, and as we saw, some moments ago, you can be caught out with these questions if you don't read it and interpret it properly. But it is essentially the arithmetic that you've been doing all along, all right? The basic 4 operations, your multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So here we have another question. This one, again, is not very, very difficult, but it is a section 2 type question. So we have the question as it's stated here. Nicholas has 360 stickers. Aidan has 75 fewer stickers than Nicholas. How many stickers do they have altogether? So if you want to help us with this question, do give us a call. The numbers are there on your screen currently. All right. And the nice thing about you interacting with us is when you do make an error, any students watching at home who might have the same misconception, they are going to have it corrected as well. Okay. So we have one student having 360 stickers and one having 75 fewer stickers, and we want to know how many they have altogether. What does altogether mean? What operation does that inform you or guide you towards using? All right, and we also see the use of the word there, fewer. That's a clue to use a different operation as well, all right? So good afternoon, caller. Welcome to C Results on IBN TV. Hi, good day, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, and who am I speaking with?
Jonathan Sananan.
Hey, welcome, Jonathan. So, Jonathan, you got a kind of easy one here, but still, let's make sure we can do it properly. What are your thoughts for this question?
Okay, sir. So, the question is saying Nicholas has 360 stickers.
Right.
And Aidan has 75 fewer. And another word for fewer is less.
Very good.
Which means if they want to find how much they both have altogether, you have to take away 75 from 360.
Right. So take a moment and tell me how much that is.
Yes, sir. That is 285 stickers.
Excellent. So who has 285 stickers?
Aidan has 285 stickers.
Very good.
And to find the total, you have to add 360 to 285, and that is the answer.
All right, and how much is that?
Give me a second to look it up, please, sir.
No problem.
My answer is 645 stickers.
Excellent, and that would be absolutely correct.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Jonathan, and thanks for calling. All right, so we don't need to perhaps explain this one any further. We just know that one student has 360 and one has 75 fewer. The classic error to be made here is to not read the question completely and then go on to add 360 to 75. But as Jonathan just pointed out, it says that Aidan has 75 fewer, fewer being a synonym for less. Less means we are going to subtract. So we had to subtract 75 from 360. That gave us an answer of 285. And then we could add both students, the number of stickers that they each have. And that gave us a total of 645 stickers. So that's very correct. All right, here's another thing, another question that tests your knowledge of basically, vocab and how it ties into maths, the English language. So we learned previously, or we were reminded previously about a fortnight being 2 weeks. All right, the key here is to remember what we mean by a certain keyword in this question. So I'm going to take a caller. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. And who am I speaking with?
You're speaking with Ayadele Anilu.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Here we have 3 roses costing $105. We want to know the cost of 2 dozen roses. How would we do that?
So first of all, 2 dozen roses equal to 24 roses because 12 equals 1 dozen.
Excellent.
So to find 2 dozen, you will do 3 roses cost $105. So you will do 3 roses is 105 multiplied by the 3 roses, which will be 345 roses.
All right.
$355, sorry. And you'll do 345 divided by 24. Then
345 divided by 24, you said?
yes.
All right. So let's pause for a second here, right? We have the 3 roses costing $105. Good? And we want to find the cost of 2 dozen roses, which you accurately told us was 24 roses, right? Because a dozen is 12. So if we have 2 dozens, we have 24 roses. Now, can I ask you something? How many groups of 3 roses will we get from 24 roses?
3 from 24? Okay.
How many groups of 3 roses can we get out of 24 roses?
8.
Excellent. How did you arrive at that 8?
You can do 8 multiplied by 3 or 3 multiplied by 8, which will be the commutator's law.
All right, excellent. So we just did some extra mathematical rules there. So we'll get 8 groups of 3, right?
Yes.
How did you arrive at that?
So how much does one group of 3 cost?
Can you repeat the question, please?
How much does one group of 3 roses cost?
So 1 of 3 roses cost.
It's right there in the question. You don't have to think too hard about it.
24 roses. 24.
Okay, we have 24 roses. And we have 8 groups of 3, right?
Yes.
Right, very good, because we divided it. But how much does one group of 3 cost?
$105.
Excellent. One group costs $105. And how many groups we have?
8.
So what do we have to do now to find the cost for those 8 groups?
8?
Yeah.
Well, wait, first you'll have to divide 3 divided by 105 to find how much for 1, and then multiply it by 8.
All right, but what we've done here now is we've broken up the 24 into 8 groups, right, with 3. So we know that 3 together costs 105. So what we can do now is multiply the 8 by 105, and that will give us the cost for the 24 roses.
Oh, okay.
You understand?
Yes.
Or if you wanted to go a little bit more in your direction, what you were saying there, we could find for the cost of 1 rose by dividing 105 by 3, right? And
Yeah.
then we'd have to multiply by 24. So either way is fine. Which one would you rather do?
I'll do the 105 multiplied by 8, which is 920.
All right. So we have 105 by 8.
8. Yeah.
And how much you got with that?
920.
All right. I wanted to double check that working, right?
Okay.
So we have 8 5s are 40. Okay. 8 by 0 is 0, and we add the 4. And 1 multiplied by 8 is 8. So that should be $840, okay?
Okay.
And the other way you could do it, if the cost of 3 roses is 105, how much would 1 rose cost?
Let's check. 35.
35. Right. And then we'd have to multiply 35 by 24. All right. So let's just see if we get the same thing. Sure.
You get 840.
Getting through there, caller?
Hello?
Yeah, you got the answer?
Yes.
All right. And how much was it? Did you get the same 840?
Yes.
All right. Excellent. So thank you so much for that call and for your help, right? All right, guys. So we just saw there 2 different approaches. We had 3 dozens of roses, 3 roses costing 105. And we want to know the cost of 2 dozens, 2 dozens being 24. Okay, we could have divided the 24 by 3 to see how many batches of 3 we'd get, which is 8. We multiply the 8 by the 105, which is the cost for 3, and you got 840. Or alternatively, we found for the cost of 1 rose by dividing 105 by 3, and we got 35. And then we have to multiply now the $35 by the 24 roses that we have, and we arrive at the same answer of 840, okay? So well done, caller. All right, here we have a trickier question now. An auditorium has 23 rows of chairs. There are 15 chairs in each row. How many extra rows of chairs are needed to seat 435 persons? Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results on IBN TV.
Hello.
Hi, good day. And who am I speaking with?
This is Aidan again.
Hey, welcome back, Aidan. Aidan, so you have a bit of a challenge in front of you here. Tell me your thoughts once you've read it.
Okay. So it has 23 chairs in each row, and there are 15 rows of chairs. So to find how many chairs in total?
Read that back.
There are 23 rows of chairs, and there are 15 chairs in the 23 rows.
All right.
In each.
Great. So what next?
So to find the total number of chairs in the 23 rows, you need to multiply 23 by 15.
Excellent.
And you'll get 345.
345?
Yeah.
That was quick, boy.
And then to find how many more chairs you need, you need to subtract 345 from 435.
All right. And what is that?
And you'll get 90.
90?
Yeah.
All right, that sounds about right.
And if there are 15 chairs in each row, you'll need to divide 90 divided by 50 to find how many more rows of chairs you'll need.
Okay.
And you'll get 6.
90 divided by 15 is?
6.
6. All right. All right, man. So that, maybe it wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be for you.
No, that wasn't difficult.
All right. Excellent work, Aidan. You are very correct. Thank you so much for calling.
You're welcome.
But you know, you almost mixed up your rows and your chairs there, right? And that could have posed a problem, because then you would have divided by 23 instead of dividing by 15. All right? So that's why it's important, as we said, to take our time and read our questions properly, make sure we are understanding what the question requires of us. So the auditorium currently has 23 rows of chairs, and each of those rows has 15 chairs in it. So we want to know how many extra rows of chairs we need to seat 435. And of course, we have to assume here that the extra rows are going to have 15 as well. Okay? So we multiply 23 by 15, and we got that the auditorium currently has 345 chairs. Therefore, we have 90 to make up. Of course, we get the required number of chairs, and we subtract the actual number of chairs that we have, and we got 90. And each row of chairs supposed to have 15 chairs in them. So we divide that 90 by 15, all right? And we got 6 rows, okay? And that is our answer for this particular question. So well done, Aidan. All right, here we have a nice question here for the football fans who have no football to watch of late because of the ban all throughout Europe. All right. In football, 3 points are awarded for a win, 1 point for a draw, and 0 points for a loss. Twice as many games were won than lost by a team in the competition, and we have to complete the table below. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to see results on IBN TV. Hello, caller. Good day. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. And who am I speaking with?
Janaya.
Welcome, Janaya. So, Janaya, are you seeing the question in front of you?
Yes.
All right. So, take a read and let us know your thoughts.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So, let's hear you.
So the census said twice as many games were won than lost.
Right.
You multiply 2 by 2 when you get 4 games that were won.
Excellent.
And that will give you 12 points.
All right. Why 12 points?
Because 4 by 3 is 12.
Excellent. 3 points for a win. So, we get 4 by 3 is 12.
And since they gained 3 points in a draw, that will give you 3 games they played.
Right. 1 point for a draw, right?
Yeah.
So, therefore, the number of games drawn will be equal to the number of points. So,
Yes.
the answers are 4
3.
and 12
3.
and 3.
4. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Janaya. Very confidently
Welcome.
done. All right. So now mathematics, and this, well, I guess this does count as a statistics question as well, but it's here in the number questions. And of course, yes, it is in fact a statistical table. Okay. And sport fans will know all about this, following the number of points. And the number of points gained will determine the champion at the end of the season and so on. Right? We have 3 missing pieces of information, but the question tells us that, yes, we have 3 points for a win, 1 for a draw, and 0 for a loss, and that there are twice as many games won than lost by this team in the competition. The number of games lost was 2. So that means the number of games won, having been twice as many, has to be 4. And because 3 points are awarded for every win, we know that we have a total here of 12 points. And the draw, we are given the number of points, which is 3, but because we are awarded, or our team is awarded 1 point for a draw, that tells us that the number of games drawn is the same as the number of points in the table. So pretty straightforward, but a very nice way to bring the question and to relate it to something that many young people are very interested in. All right, so we are moving in here now into the topic of percentages, something else that is tested in the section 2 number questions in your SEA paper. Let's give this a try and hopefully we'll get it in before the end of our segment. So there are 120 marbles in a collection. There are 25 red marbles and twice as many blue marbles as red. The remaining marbles are green. What percentage of the marbles are green? Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to See Results on IBN TV. Hi, good afternoon, caller. Caller, good day.
Hello.
Hi, good day.
Good day.
And who am I speaking with?
Hi, good day.
Hi, good day. And who am I speaking with?
Marie again.
Hey, welcome back to the program. So what are your thoughts for this question here?
So since they said there are twice as many blue marbles as red,
Yes.
I will multiply 25 by 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will get 50.
Right.
And then I will add 50 and 25 and I'll get 75.
Okay. So far,
And
so
then
good. Yeah.
and then I will minus 75 from 120.
Okay.
And then I will get 45.
All right.
And then 45 is green, and they ask what percentage of the marbles are green. So I will put 145 over 120.
Great.
Multiply by 100, and I will get. Hold on, I just need to work it out. 1 minute, please.
No problem. Take your time.
Okay, and my final answer will be 37.5%.
37.5%. All right. That is absolutely correct. Thank you so much for your call.
Thank you.
All right. So our last caller for the day just expertly answered this question very quickly. Right. We have 120 marbles in the collection, and we know that there are 25 red marbles. All right, and that there are twice as many blue marbles. So twice as many means that we have to multiply that 25 by 2. We add them, we get 75 in total, and the remaining marbles are green. So if we subtract 75 from the total of 120, we're going to get 45 marbles. And to find the percentage, right, we put the part over the whole, so we have 45 over 120 multiplied by 100, and that gave us 75 over 2, which can be reduced to 37.5%. All right, so that's absolutely correct. And we have looked into percentages before. That's why we didn't stop to teach more about it. You can go back to our episodes 30 and 31. All right, so you can look us up on YouTube on See Results, and you're going to get 2 very nice lessons on percentages, and with many questions you can do by pausing the video, working them out, and then proceeding afterwards. Okay, so that's it for me for today. Don't forget to do your quizzes and your assignment throughout the course of the week on edmodo.com. Ms. Nyla will be joining us next with English Language Arts, so don't go anywhere. I have been Sir Ijaz. Have a pleasant evening. Assalamu alaikum.
Sheiklisha Limited, the Caribbean's largest manufacturers of plain and printed paper bags, leaders in plastic bags, vermicelli, split piece powder, and greaseproof paper, ideal for doubles, french fries, and sandwiches. Supplying stores nationwide. For quality products, trust Sheiklisha Limited, 665-3336.
For the everyday lowest prices on all grocery items, trust Low Cost Supermarket for the widest variety of quality products at low prices. Freshly picked fruits and vegetables, healthy products for your well-being, high-quality meat cuts, and a warm and friendly service. Low Cost Supermarket, Southern Main Road, Cunupia.
IBN can be viewed on the go now with the Airlink TV app for Google devices. Simply go to the Google Play Store, search for the Airlink TV app. Download the app, click on the link and fill out the form. The account activation will be emailed or texted to the user. It's safe as no credit card is needed. The first 30 days are free and you can subscribe and receive a box for your TV to stream the same content.
Assalamu alaikum, good evening guys, and welcome back to C Results. You're now joining Miss Nyla, and you're going to join me for ELA today, right? English Language Arts. Welcome to all our viewers, whether you are joining us on our live stream on Facebook via the C Results page or the IBN TV 8 page, or you are looking at us, at home on channel 8 or 108. Welcome guys, welcome to all our new viewers. I hope that you all are having, a good holiday so far. I know in the midst of everything that is going on and we're trying to keep safe. I hope that you are getting your revision done. And of course, we are here to help exactly with that, right? We are on every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. with mathematics, ELA, and creative writing, right? So I know you have that as well. But in addition to that, you have a couple of days where you can maximize on some probably practice tests or probably catching up on some practice report writing or exposit or narrative style writing, right? So you have lots of work to do. I hope you're using this time, right, to help you, whatever area that you may need assistance with. And in talking about any area that you may need assistance with, when I start to take calls for the questions that we have up today, as you know, we are completing section 2 in the SEA paper, which is we are finally on comprehension, which is the last of it, right? We work backwards, so we did graphic poetry, and now we're on comprehension, which we already started last week, right? So if you're having difficulty with any one section, please bring it to my attention when you call. In that way, when we start officially practice papers, we can focus on narrowing in some of those problem areas, right? So for comprehension, we are looking at fiction and non-fiction passages, which are the two types of passages that we come across in comprehension, right? So we did a couple last day, probably about 4 already. We're going to try to finish what we can today, we're going to see if we can do 2. And then from tomorrow, hopefully, we are going to do strictly past papers, right? So let's see how time permits, and let's get started, right? So we are going with a nonfiction first. So read together with me this passage, and then we'll take call-ins for the questions that we have, right? So let's read it carefully. So hydroponics, nonfiction, right? Plants need the following to grow: water, light, carbon dioxide, chlorophyll, and minerals. They get water from rain or when people water them. They get light from the sun or from special types of artificial lights. Carbon dioxide comes from the air. Chlorophyll is a chemical which is in the leaves of the plant. It is responsible for giving leaves their green color. The minerals that plants need are often found naturally in the soil, but they are also in fertilizers. So we can see that plants do not need the soil itself, just the nutrients in it. So if the nutrients are put in water, plants can get all they need to grow without the soil. This is the basic principle behind hydroponics, which is a technique for growing plants without using soil. There are many types of hydroponic systems. In some systems, the plants are hung from nets or other structures with their roots dangling in the water containing nutrients below. In other systems, the roots are dangling in the air and the water solution is sprayed on them. Some systems have plant roots growing in materials other than soil. These materials include vermiculite, coconut husk, and fiberglass. The materials support the plant roots and leave lots of space around them. This allows the water solution to reach the plant roots easily. In any of these methods, hydroponics farmers may use pumps, timers, gravity, and technology to supply the water to the plants in the most efficient and beneficial way. Some hydroponics farmers have found that their plants grow bigger than when they use soil. This is because hydroponically grown plants need much smaller root systems since they get the nutrients easily from the water. This means the plant can spend more energy on leaf and stem growth. Although this is a good thing for leafy crops, it is a disadvantage for heavy fruiting plants since the roots may be too small to support them. Hydroponics plants also grow faster and have fewer diseases. One main disadvantage of hydroponics is the high cost of the materials and equipment needed. Right, so nonfiction passage, very informative here. I'm sure probably if this is the first time you're learning about hydroponics, you did indeed learn 1 or 2 facts there, right, that you can take away. Maybe you're already, or your parents are already, a hydroponics farmer, right? So maybe this is a little bit of information brought to your attention, probably to assist one way or another, right? So let's go on to the questions. Now, I know this passage here is not one that you are familiar with or one that we talk about on an everyday basis. So I hope you pay special attention to the details. Of course, when you are, you are doing this at home, probably by yourself, you will take the time to read the passage twice or thrice if needed, right? Just for the sake of time, we are reading it once, and as we go along with the questions, as we usually do, I'm going to put the paragraph that is needed to answer that question in between the questions. So in that way, it makes it a little simpler for you to answer the questions, as well as, helping out with time. All right, so let's go to the first question, and the lines are going to be open for you shortly. Feel free to call us, help us answer these questions. Remember, this is a learning opportunity, so don't be ashamed to call, even if you're not sure about the answer, right? Still call us, and we will help you as best as we can, right? You can help me, and I can help you. All right, so let's look at the first question here. What is the meaning of the word technique, which is on line 8, as used in the passage? Right, so I'm going to hold on there for a couple calls, and while I'm doing so, I just want to remind you guys, when you're answering your questions, be sure to read your question properly. Make sure that you understand what the question is asking, right? For example, in this question here, they are giving you a hint as to where this word technique is, right? And as I previously explained, the reason for they giving you, with a specific line is to assist, right? So you don't have to go back to the entire passage and look for the word technique. You simply go to line 8 and you will be able to find that word technique there, right? So I'm going to take this call. Good evening and welcome to C Results.
Hi,
Hi, welcome. What's your name?
this is Aidan.
Hi, Aidan. Thanks for joining us today. So what is the meaning of the word technique as used in the passage?
The word technique as used in a passage means a method.
A method. Excellent job, Aidan. Right? Thanks so much for calling. Right? So he is correct. Right? The word technique means a way or a method. So if you're thinking a way, if you had, this was your definition here, or method, even better choice of word, you are correct and you will be awarded your mark. Remember, comprehension is out of 20 marks. Each mark is very crucial, as you know. Right, let's go to our next question. What is the main idea in paragraph 2? Let's see if this caller can assist. Good evening and welcome to C Results.
Good evening and welcome to C Results. Good evening.
Hi, caller. Are you there with us? Good evening.
Hello.
Hi, welcome. What's your name?
This is Zubair.
Hi, Zubair. So what is the main idea in paragraph 2? And this is paragraph 2 for you here. So if you would like to take a second and skim it through, that's fine. And then you can go ahead with your answer.
Yeah. The main idea in paragraph 2 is that it tells you about different ways or methods in how to do hydroponics.
Okay.
Growing plants.
Yes, that's correct. We'll take that answer. Thanks for calling.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Right. Also, if you look at this paragraph here, we know how a paragraph is structured is that we have a main idea, supporting details, and a concluding sentence sometimes, right? In this paragraph here, the main idea is given to the very top, right? Now, not all the time your main idea will be given in the first 2 or 3 lines of your paragraph. However, in this paragraph here, the main idea is given at the very beginning, right? There are many types of hydroponic systems, right? So the main idea in paragraph 2 is that there are many types of hydroponic systems. And if you want to go on to talk about the different methods, that's fine, but try not to stray too much from the question itself, right? Because they went on to mention about the different hydroponic systems. All right, next question. List 3 advantages of hydroponics farming from the passage. All right, and do have a caller to help me. Good evening and welcome to C Results. Hi, welcome. Caller, are you there?
Please, hi.
Hi, welcome to C Results. Okay, and we lost that one again, so I'm going to give that caller another chance to call us back. Hi, good evening.
Hi,
Hi, welcome. What's your name?
this is Aidan again.
So, Aidan, list 3 advantages of hydroponics farming from the passage. So you can go ahead and read through this passage, this paragraph, sorry, if you like, and then you can go ahead with the answer.
Okay. Your plants grow bigger than when they use soil.
Right. That's one.
And hydroponic plants also grow faster and have fewer diseases.
So that's 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent job, Aidan. Thanks for your call again.
You're welcome.
Right, so he rightfully pointed out 3 advantages are plants grow bigger when they use soil, they grow faster, as well as they have fewer diseases. Right, key to answering these questions, guys, is literal questions. This is a literal type question where the answer will be given directly in the passage. So once your question looks like this, right, this part in particular from the passage, they are telling you to go directly to the passage to look for the answer. That's how you know it's a literal question and that you can find the answer itself within the passage, right? So 3 marks, easy 3 marks, right? Some plants grow bigger leaves using hydroponics. According to the passage, why is this so? Let's take this call to help us. Good evening and welcome to See Results. Hi, caller. Good evening.
Hello?
Hi, welcome. What's your name?
I'm Rachel.
Can you repeat that, please? I didn't catch your name.
I'm Rachel.
Okay, nice to have you with us. So this question says, some plants grow bigger leaves using hydroponics. According to the passage, why is this so? So I'm going to go to that paragraph, and you can go ahead and skim through and look for your answer.
Can you repeat the question again?
The question was, some plants grow bigger leaves using hydroponics, right? According to the passage, why is this so? So they want to know why some plants grow bigger leaves using or through the hydroponic system.
Okay.
Right, so let's go to the paragraph. See if you can identify that part firstly.
Some leaves grow bigger than others because hydroponically grow plants need much smaller root systems since they get nutrients easily from water.
I'm not hearing you too well. Can you repeat that, please?
Some plants grow bigger than some leaves grow bigger or leaves because hydroponically grown plants need much smaller root systems since they get nutrients easily from the water.
Okay, great. I think I'm hearing you correctly, right? But thanks so much for your call, right? And I do apologize. That call was breaking up for some reason, right? But I do believe this is what he said here. The plants get nutrients easily from water, so they do not need large roots. Therefore, they spend more energy on leaf growth, right? So I do believe that is what the caller was telling us, or the answer that he was given, okay? Right, state one disadvantage of smaller roots in hydroponics farming. Right, so now we're looking for one disadvantage. Let's take this call to help us. Good evening and welcome to See Results.
Hi, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. What's your name?
This is Aidan again.
So Aidan, state one disadvantage of smaller roots in hydroponics farming.
Let's take this call to help us. Good evening and welcome to See Results. Hi, assalamu alaikum. Walaikum assalam. What's your name? This is Aidan again. So Aidan, state one disadvantage of smaller roots in hydroponics farming. Is one main disadvantage is the high cost of the materials and equipment needed.
No, not quite. The question was, state one disadvantage of smaller roots in hydroponics. Yeah, so we're looking at smaller roots.
So it's a disadvantage for heavy fruiting plants since the roots may be too small to support them.
Right, that's correct. Right, so that's the answer we were looking for there. Thanks for calling again.
You're welcome.
Right, so we just have to ensure that we read our question twice if necessary. I know the question was not up on the screen at the time together with the paragraph, so maybe that was a bit of a distraction or throw off there for Aidan. Right, so one disadvantage of smaller roots in hydroponics farming is that the roots may not be able to support heavy fruiting plants. And if you go back to the paragraph, right, you can find that right here. Although this is a good thing for leafy crops, it is a disadvantage for heavy fruiting plants, since the roots may be too small to support them. Yeah?
Yes.
Thanks again.
Welcome.
Okay. So according to the passage, list 3 materials or equipment needed for hydroponics. All right, let's take another call to help us. Good evening and welcome to See Results.
Good evening.
Hi, welcome. What's your name?
Devontae.
Nice to have you with us. So according to the passage, list 3 materials or equipment needed for hydroponics.
3 materials or equipment needed for hydroponics. 3 materials or equipment for hydroponics.
Can you see the paragraph there?
I'm reading it right now.
Okay.
The paragraph there. I'm reading it right now.
So I'm just going to go ahead and mention that there are more than 3, okay? So just in case you're a bit confused, there are more than 3.
Okay? Just in case you're a bit confused, there are more than 3, okay?
Are you ready to share your answer with us?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. So I'm just going to go back to the question so you have an idea of your stem to start your answer. Right, so we're looking at 3 materials or equipment needed for hydroponics.
Okay, so according to the passage,
right,
the materials are
3 materials are, because they specifically asked for 3, right? Vermiculite. Can you say that?
coconut husk and fiberglass.
Okay. Any other materials you'd like to point out for us?
Okay, any other materials to point out for us? Okay,
Are you seeing any other materials or equipment?
Not that I can see right now.
Okay, all right, no problem. Thank you so much for calling and sharing your answer with us.
Okay, all right, no problem.
Okay, okay, guys, so it's 20 past 6, which means I do have to take a break. It's time for the Maghrib Adhan. But don't go anywhere. When you rejoin me, I'm going to share the answer for this question, and then we're going to go on with our questions, okay? So stay tuned with us. We'll be right back. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, guys, and welcome back to See Results. So just before the break, we were looking at this question. According to the passage, list 3 materials or equipment needed for hydroponics. Right? So we did have a caller assisting us with that. And that answer was indeed correct, right? But there, like I was saying, there are more than 3 materials here that you could have mentioned, right? So the materials needed were nets, vermiculite, coconut husk, fiberglass, pumps, timers, fertilizers, right? So any of those 3 and you would be awarded your 3 marks. For those of you who are just joining us, we are looking at section 2 in the ELA paper, right? Just as we have the practice style papers, we are taking the same format, and we are currently on comprehension, right? So let's go ahead with our next question. So remember, the lines are open, the numbers are on your screen. Feel free to call us and assist with answering these questions. Right, so the next question, according to the passage, what can be done to help plants with smaller roots if they need more support? Right, so that question again, according to the passage, what can be done to help plants with smaller roots if they need more support? Right, and we have a caller to help us. Good evening and welcome to See Results. Hi, welcome. What's your name?
My name is Alexi.
Nice to have you with us. So according to the passage, right, what can be done to help plants with smaller roots if they need support? So would you like to read the question again for yourself, or can I go to the paragraph?
I'd like to go to the paragraph.
Right. Is anything standing out to you there?
I said?
Is anything standing out to you? An answer? So I'm just going to go back to the question, so you'll read that again. So according to the passage, what can be done to help plants with smaller roots, right, if they need more support? So smaller roots here is our hint. That is what we are looking for in the passage, right? So let's go back there.
Okay.
So while you are looking for that answer, I would like to mention to everyone else, you know, sometimes when you read a passage one time, it's enough for us to remember the answers when we go to the questions. So this isn't an example of that. These are one of those passages, because this is nonfiction, and, you know, it's new to you, new information to you. You may need to often go back and refer to your passage, which is fine and exactly what you should be doing. Right? You should not rely on your memory solely to answer your questions, right? But I just wanted to point that out to you as I am telling you, encourage you to go back to your passage, like just as we are doing throughout answering your questions. So caller, do you have an answer for us, or would you like me to help you?
I would like to help, ma'am.
Sure, no problem, right? So the question was, what can be done to help plants with smaller roots if they need more support? Right, so vermiculite, coconut husk, and fiberglass are some materials that can be used to support plants with smaller roots. Right, so going back to this line or these lines here, right, that those are the lines that would help us to answer this question. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
All right, no problem. Thanks so much for your call.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so good job so far, everyone. Keep working. Our next question says, which method of farming do you prefer? Traditional, in the soil, as we commonly know, right, or hydroponics? Give a reason for your answer using evidence from the passage. So that question again, which method of farming do you prefer? Traditional, which is in the soil, or hydroponics? Give a reason for your answer using evidence from the passage. So let's take this call to help us. Good evening. Welcome to See Results.
Hello.
Hi, welcome. What's your name?
Selena Ramkisoon.
Nice to have you with us. So, did you read the question?
Yes.
Okay, so before you answer the question, right, tell me, are you familiar with hydroponics?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Kind of.
And kind of, right? Or from this passage or from previously?
I would say previously.
Okay, and do you know about traditional farming?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we are accustomed to, right? Okay, so given the question here, can I go ahead to the passage, or would you like to read the question again?
You could go ahead to the passage.
Okay. So this question is both inferential and the evidence is literal, right? So you'll find the evidence here, but the first part of the question suggests that, you give that answer from your own thinking.
Well, I will use the hydroponics method.
Right. Because?
Because, as stated in the passage, hydroponic plants grow faster and have fewer diseases, and they grow bigger than when you use soil.
Excellent. Right, so your answer is correct. Right, so thank you so much for calling. Right,
You're welcome.
Okay, so whether you chose traditional or hydroponics, the part that we are focusing on is your reasoning for your answer, right? You must be able to justify your answer. So I prefer hydroponics because the plants grow bigger, faster, and have fewer diseases, just as our last caller rightfully said, or traditional farming because it is cheaper than hydroponics. If you look at the last line here, or last few lines, one main disadvantage of hydroponics is a high cost of materials and equipment needed, right? So any of those answers will be correct. It's just how you justify your answer and given the supporting evidence to go along with saying yes, saying that you prefer hydroponics or traditional farming. All right, so let's go to our next question. To whom do you think this passage would be most useful? All right, let's take this call to help us. Good evening and welcome to See Results.
Hello.
Hi, good evening. Welcome. What's your name?
David Pascal.
Hi, David. Thanks for joining us. So to whom do you think this passage would be most useful?
I think this would be most useful to people who would be interested in farming.
Farming. What kind of farming?
Crop farming.
More specific than crop farming. What is the type of farming they are speaking about in this passage?
Hydroponics.
Hydroponics, right? So hydroponics farming, right? So you could mention that in your answer, right? So that you are specific with it. Thanks so much for calling, David.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so I think that this passage will be most useful to farmers or persons interested in growing crops. And just as I said, the caller was correct here, but you can also be a little more specific to persons who are interested in farming or hydroponics farming, right? So all of this is in fact correct. Is there enough information in the passage to encourage hydroponics farming? Support your answer with evidence from the text. So this is the last question for this passage. So let's take this call to help us. Good evening and welcome to See Results. Okay, we lost that call there, so I'm going to hold on a couple seconds. And I have another call. Good evening and welcome to See Results.
Hello.
Hi, welcome. What's your name?
Cheyenne.
Hi, Cheyenne. Welcome. So is there enough information in the passage to encourage hydroponics farming? Support your answer with evidence. Okay. So yes, tell me why. Or what is your evidence?
Because they are telling you advantages and methods that you use to do it, and it helps you
to learn about hydroponics farming, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks for calling.
You're welcome.
Right, so this answer could go two ways. Yes, because the passage tells what is needed for hydroponics and the advantages of it, just as we saw. Or no, because the passage does not give details about how to set up the system or the cost of equipment. Right, so either of those answers, like I said, will be correct as long as you give supporting evidence and you justify your answer properly. Right, so that brings us to the end of this non-fiction passage. So now we have, and before we go on, I thought I'd share this with you. This, if you're not familiar with hydroponics farming, right, this is what it looks like when it is set up. Right, so as you're seeing, just as they explained in the passage, I just thought I'd provide you with a picture for those of you who are not familiar with it. This is probably lettuce, I believe. Right, not traditional as we know, it's in the soil, in the ground completely. And this is what vermiculite looks like, just in case you also wanted to find out a little bit about that. Right? They use this before they plant the crops. Yeah, so just as we are seeing here. So just a little bit of additional information there for you guys. So now we're going to move on to our fiction passage, right? It is titled Little Pear. Right? So we're going to read this and then we're going to go on to questions just as we did previously. So let's go ahead here. Little Pear. The men in the village of Shegu, where Little Pear and his family lived, were mostly farmers. All day they worked in the fields that lay on all sides of the village. Sometimes they would go to the market fairs at neighboring villages to sell their grain and vegetables and to buy what they needed from other farmers. Little Pear's father was a farmer. One day in the summer, he came in from the fields very early. "There is a fair today," he said, "in the village of Wuku. I am going there to sell some of my onions and cabbages and to buy some melons and sweet potatoes. I have heard that it is a very large fair, with many things to buy besides vegetables, so I shall bring a present for each of the children when I come home." Dagu, Urgu, and Little Pear all became very much excited. Dagu loved pretty things to wear. "I should like some silk flowers to put in my hair," she said. Urgu liked bright-colored things to play with. "I should like a lantern," she said, "shaped like a fish or a rabbit." Little Pear said nothing, because what he really wanted most of all was to go to the fair himself. While the others were talking, he slipped out into the courtyard. The village of Wuku was 3 miles away. Little Pear's father was going to walk there, pushing his wheelbarrow full of vegetables. The wheelbarrow stood in the courtyard, all ready and laden with the cabbages and onions. Little Pear walked around the wheelbarrow, looking to see whether there was any space anywhere big enough for a small boy to squeeze into. And yes, there was. Little Pear crawled in among 4 cabbages and covered himself up as well as he could with some onions. Then he lay very still. When Little Pear's father started out in the direction of Wuku, it seemed to him that his wheelbarrow was rather heavy. But he only thought, "What a fine load of vegetables I have." He never guessed that Little Pear was hidden in the load. "Where is Little Pear?" asked Urgu, after she and Dagu had watched their father out of sight. "That naughty boy," said Dagu. "He's always up to some mischief. I hope he hasn't run away," said his mother anxiously. Right? And this piece was, of course, adapted from How Little Pear Went to the Fair by Eleanor Francis Lattimore. Right? So we're going to go on to the questions now. So the lines are open once more, guys. Feel free to call us and answer these questions with us. Of course, you know, those of you who are not calling, what you can do, and I hope that you are, right? I hope that you're answering the questions along with us and you are taking note of the marks that you are getting for each question. Remember, comprehension is out of 20 marks, right? So if you had gotten all 10 questions previously correct, then you know you got that 20 marks, right? Now, I'm not saying each question is 2 marks. We know that marking differs for each question, right? So this question says, from the story, state 2 reasons the farmers from Shegu went to the market fairs. Right, so let's take this call to help us. Good evening and welcome to See Results.
Hi,
Hi, welcome. What's your name?
this is Aidan.
So Aidan, right, from the story, state 2 reasons the farmers from Shegu went to market fairs. Right,
Okay.
so I'm going to give you a couple minutes there.
Okay.
Welcome to See Results. Hi, welcome. What's your name? This is Aidan. So Aidan, right, from the story, state 2 reasons the farmers from Shegu went to market fairs. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple minutes there. Aidan, can I just ask you to lower the volume on your television set, please?
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yes. So do you have an answer for us, Aidan?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me, Aidan?
Excuse me, this is not Aidan.
Okay, I do apologize. I know I had Aidan on the line. Who am I speaking
okay.
to? Hi, good evening. Welcome to See Results. Okay, and I think I lost both calls there, so I'm going to give that a second. So I'm just going to go back to that question. From the story, state 2 reasons the farmers from Shegu went to market fairs. Right, and we do have a call to help us. Good evening and welcome to See Results.
Hello?
Hi, good evening. Welcome.
Hi,
And who am I speaking to?
Selena again.
So, Selena, right, I want you to give us 2 reasons the farmers went to Shegu. Or, sorry, the farmers from Shegu went to market fairs. Right, so I'm just going to go to that paragraph. And you can go ahead and skim through and look for your answer.
Okay.
Do you have an answer for us?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, 2 reasons are to sell the grain and vegetables
Right.
and to buy what they need from other farmers.
Excellent job. Right, well done, Selena. Thanks for calling.
So,
Right. So, 2 reasons the farmers from Shegu went to market fairs were to sell their grain and vegetables and to buy what they needed from other farmers. Right, so that was given directly in the last couple lines of the first paragraph there. Right, a literal type question. Let's go on to number 20. What items did Dagu and Ergu ask for? Another literal question, right? So let's take another call to help us. Good evening and welcome to See Results.
good evening.
Hi, welcome. What's your name?
It's here.
Nice to have you with us. So what items did Dagu and Ergu ask for? So you can go ahead and skim through this paragraph. Can you see the paragraph there?
Yes.
Okay, great. Do you have an answer for us?
Yes, I have my answer.
Okay, go ahead.
Dagu wanted some silk flowers to put in her hair, and
Right.
Ergu wanted a lantern shaped like a fish or a rabbit.
Great job. Thank you so much for calling. Right, and that answer is in fact correct. Right, so Dagu asked for some silk flowers to put in her hair, and Ergu asked for a bright colored lantern shaped like a fish or rabbit. Right, so next question. Write 2 phrases from the story that appeal to the sense of sight. Right, so we're looking for imagery here. All right, let's take this call to help us. Good evening and welcome to See Results. Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, what's your name?
Good evening.
Nice to have you with us. So,
My name is Devontae.
okay, welcome to our program. So I want you to give me 2 phrases from the story that appeal to the sense of sight. Right, and I'm just going to go to relevant paragraph here so you can go ahead and read that through.
Okay. Two phrases from the story that appeal to the sense of sight are you like bright colored things to play with.
Right.
And shaped like a fish or rabbit.
Yes, excellent job. Right, thank you so much for calling.
You're welcome.
Right, so this was another literal question here. Two phrases that appeal to the sense of sight. Silk flowers or bright colored things shaped like a fish or rabbit or pretty things. Right, any of those two answers will be correct. Yeah. What is the meaning of the word neighboring, which is on line 4, as used in the story? All right, so let's take this call to help us. Good evening and welcome to See Results. Hi, good evening, caller. Are you there with us?
Hello, good day.
Hi, welcome. What's your name?
Dakarai.
Nice to have you with us, Dakarai. So what is the meaning of the word neighboring as used in the story? So let's just go to this paragraph here, and I highlighted the word neighboring for you, so you can read that in the sentence and then give us your answer if you like.
Okay. Let's get my second to think.
Sure. Take your time.
Is the answer nearby villages?
You are absolutely correct, right? So thanks so much for calling. And that answer is, of course, correct, right? Neighboring means nearby or close. If you think about the word neighbor, right, that is somebody who will live in close proximity to. So neighboring villages, same concept, somewhere close by or nearby. So, of course, you can infer the meaning, right, using context clues, or you can, based on previous knowledge, just as we just did with the word neighbor, you can suggest a meaning closest to it, right? So just as, if you're not sure what the meaning of a word is, that is something that I suggest you do, guys, right? Use the words in context to, of course, help you find the meaning. Next question. What is the mood in the last paragraph of the story? Give an example to support your answer. All right, so let's take this call to help us. Good evening and welcome to See Results.
Give an example to support your answer. Right, so let's take this call to help us. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Welcome to See Results.
Hello?
Hi, welcome. What's your name?
Cheyenne.
Hi, Cheyenne. So what is the mood in the last paragraph of the story?
Can you please go back to the passage, please?
Yes. Can you see it now?
No, not yet.
Okay, just give it a second.
Okay, I can see it now.
Right, so the last paragraph would be from Where is Little Pear, right?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
The mood of the last paragraph is one of being mischievous.
Mischievous, and what will be your supporting evidence there?
Because Dagu,
yes,
Dagu called someone a naughty boy, and he said he was always up to some doing mischievous stuff.
Right, who did he call a naughty boy?
Little Pear.
Little Pear, right? Terrific job, well done.
Thank you.
Right. So the mood in the last paragraph is actually worried, anxious, concerned, now mischievous. If we just go back to this last paragraph here, and I want to read this to you. Where is Little Pear? Asked Ergu. After she and Dagu had watched their father out of sight. That naughty boy, said Dagu. He is always up to some mischief. I hope he hasn't run away, said his mother anxiously. So the mood in this last paragraph will now be mischievous, as Little Pear himself was not doing an action here. This is what Dagu is saying, right? So he is actually saying that Little Pear is naughty or he is mischievous. But you will not get your answer, your mark. You will not lose 2 marks then, right? You will be awarded 1 mark for your example given, right? in which you said that naughty boy, he's always up to some mischief, right? You could use that, and if you said mischievous as your mood, now maybe your examiner would have given you that correct, but closer to the correct answer will be a mood such as worried, anxious, or concerned, right? As his mother is saying, I hope he hasn't run away, said his mother anxiously, right? So this adverb is given directly to us. And also, yes, actually that is the line that I want to point out there. And I'm just double checking to see if I could give the other one correct, right? That naughty boy said Dago, right? So Dago there is displaying his concern, right? He may have said it, as a remark, right? That, his brother is mischievous. All right, so let's go to the next question there. What kind of boy do you think little Pierre is? Support your answer with evidence from the story. All right, so let's take a call to help us. Good evening and welcome to See Results.
Hello.
Hi, good evening. Welcome. What's your name?
Aidan.
So, Aidan, what kind of boy do you think little Pierre is? Support your answer with evidence from the story.
He's very curious.
Curious, okay. And what will be your evidence to support that?
Because he wanted to go to the fair and he sneaked away and hide in his father's wheelbarrow and to go to the fair.
Yes, I will accept that answer. That is creative thinking, right? So thank you so much, Aidan. Right, so I do agree. He is curious, right? Also, he could be naughty or mischievous. Evidence being Dago said he's naughty and always up to some mischief, which tells us, right, that there is little Pierre's regular behavior, and he hid in the barrow, right? But I do agree with Aidan there where he said that little Pierre is curious and he gave his support in detail, so that as well is correct, right? So excellent thinking there. How would you describe little Pierre's father? Use evidence to support your answer. And let's take a call to help us. Good evening and welcome to See Results. Hi, good evening.
Hello?
Hi, welcome. What's your name?
It's Thomas.
It's nice to have you with us. So tell me, how would you describe little Pierre's father? Use evidence to support your answer.
Hard-working man.
Right, and what will be your evidence there?
That all day they work in the fields and all the sides of the village.
Very good. Your answer is correct, right? So all day they worked in the fields, which does show that he is, in fact, very hardworking. Also, little Pierre's father can be described as caring, kind, hardworking, or responsible, right? So any of those adjectives there, right? Evidence, he works in the fields, just as you said. He provides for his family. The village of Woku was 3 miles away, and he had to walk. That which shows that he was very determined, hardworking. Little Pierre's father was going to walk there, pushing his wheelbarrow full of vegetables. Right? So any of those answers will be correct. Next question. Caller, are you there with us? Okay. So that caller was still there with us. Why do you think little Pierre's father was going to walk to the fair, pushing his barrow of vegetables? All right, let's see if we have another caller to help us. Hi, welcome. What's your name?
Kaylan Simon.
Nice to have you with us. So tell me, why do you think little Pierre's father was going to walk to the fair pushing his barrow of vegetables? And it's highlighted for you there.
He's hardworking.
Sorry?
He's hardworking.
He's hardworking. All right. Any other reasons why?
Because he works hard in the field.
Okay, well, he working hard in the field here. Okay, so if he worked hard in the field, he wanted to go to the fair to sell his vegetables, right? So I do understand your answer there. So, but I want to share this with you also, right? A little deeper understanding into this question here. Little Pierre's father was going to walk to the fair, pushing his barrow of vegetables, probably because he had no other form of transportation, right? Or he could not afford any other form of transportation, right? So this question, just as our last caller there gave a different response, that answer will be correct because I do think that this question here is open to interpretation, right? It's an inferential type question where they're asking you, why do you think, right? So great job there, and that answer is correct also. And we just have a couple minutes left. I'm going to see if I can answer the last two questions quickly. Right? Do you think little Pierre was right to hide in the barrow? Give a reason for your answer. All right, let's take a call to help us. Good evening and welcome to See Results. Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome. What's your name?
Good evening. Welcome. What's your name?
Ma'am, give Peters.
Nice to have you with us. So, do you think little Pierre was right to hide in the barrow? Give a reason for your answer. And I have those lines highlighted for you, so it's easy to detect in the paragraph.
Please hang up.
Unfortunately, we lost that call there. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and share the answer for this call, right, as we are quickly approaching the end. No, because his family would be worried, or no, because he did not seek permission from his parents to go on the fair, or no, because if anything happened to him, his family will be unable to provide assistance. Right? So that answers that question there. And I do have a final caller. Okay. Just give me 1 second there. Okay. So that was actually the final question for this passage. So that is the end of comprehension for today, guys, fiction and nonfiction. So that's the end of calls, unfortunately. But you know, join us again tomorrow. We do have ELA, we have creative writing. So make sure and tune in for that. Before we go, I just want to remind you all that quizzes are up for this week on Edmodo. Edmodo is an educational app, right? It's an app where we post quizzes based on the content that was learned throughout the week for ELA, mathematics, and creative writing, right? So our new viewers, if you would like to become a participant, the class code will be up on your screen shortly. Just visit www.edmodo.com, enter that class code, follow the few steps to become a member of the Edmodo class, right? Also, feel free to rewatch this video as well as all our videos starting from last November on YouTube. That is the See Results YouTube page. Subscribe as well. Or you can rewatch it right on Facebook, See Results page as well. Okay, guys, have a terrific evening, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Keep safe, both you and your family. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, guys.